This is a brief explanation of how to solve a quadratic with the quadratic formula. So here is a quadratic equation. I can tell because it's got x to the power 2 in it. And I can tell I'm supposed to get a solution because it says this equals 0. If you have an equal sign and a 0, you know that you're supposed to be getting some answers. To find the answers, I could factor this. Sometimes you can't factor it, and you need to use the quadratic formula, which is up here. It says x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b to the power of 2 minus 4 times a times c, all over 2a. Now every equation that's a quadratic is written in the, I guess, generic form, where you have something times x squared plus something times x plus something equals 0. And these three somethings are called the a, the b, and the c. Every equation here will have that, an a, a b, and a c. And they'll be just in this position. Your job is to figure out what they are, substitute them into the equation, see what you get. So for this first example, the a is in front of the x squared, the b is in front of the x, and the c is right here. So in front of x squared I don't see anything, but there's a coefficient, it's a 1. The b in front of the x is a minus 4, so the b is negative 4. And the c, it's this entire thing, negative 5. So a is 1, b is negative 4, c is negative 5. I'm going to take these three numbers and substitute them in for the b, the a, and the c. This 4 and this 2 will hang out still. We'll substitute in and see what we get. So I'm going to substitute the a, the b, and the c into my formula. So the first one, negative b, it's negative, and then b is negative 4. So it's negative, negative 4. I'm going to have to cancel that out later. Plus or minus the square root of b to the power of 2. Well, here b is negative 4. So in here I'll write the negative 4 to the power of 2. We'll simplify that in the next step. Minus, I'll put a parenthesis so we can keep it all together, 4 times the a times the c, all over 2 times the a. So I'm going to start simplifying. Negative negative 4, that's just 4, plus or minus the square root of negative 4 times negative 4 is 16, minus 4 times 1 times negative 5. 4 times 1 is 4, times negative 5 is negative 20, all over 2 times 1, which is 2. Making progress. There's still 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus negative 20. When you minus and minus, that's plus. That makes 36 over 2. I can simplify some more. The square root of 36. What times what makes 36? That's 6. Still over 2. So really all this work here, all I've done is take the square root and simplified what's inside of it to get 6. Simplify all the inside to get 36. The square root of 36 is this 6. So I got 4 plus or minus 6 divided by 2. This is where you got to do the plus or minus part. Plus or minus means I have to do the whole problem where I'm adding the 6. And you also have to do the other case where you're minusing the 6. So 4 minus 6 divided by 2. So I've got two cases. 4 plus 6 is 10, divided by 2 makes 5. 4 minus 6 is negative 2 divided by 2, which is negative 1. So I get my two answers, negative 1 and the 5. Those are the two answers to x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 0. X could be 5 or negative 1. So I'll put here, x is 5, comma, negative 1. It could be either one of these. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to not take so many steps. So I'll go a little faster. For this one, it's still the same setup. A, B, C. So for this problem, A is 5, B is 9, C is 4. A, the B, the C. Whatever's in front of x squared, whatever's in front of the x, the 4. They're all positive because it's a positive, a plus, and a plus. I'm going to substitute these into the quadratic equation, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I'm going to start filling in. X will equal negative 9 plus or minus the square root. Right, the b was the 9, so it's negative 9. B squared, b to the power of 2. 9 to the power of 2 is 81. Minus 4 times the a times the c. 4 times 5 is 20. Times 8 is 80. All over 2 times the a. 2 times 5 is the 10. So I substitute b squared, 4 times a times c is 80, and 2 times a is the 10. Let's simplify. Negative 9 plus or minus the square root of 81 minus 80 is 1. So it's negative 9 plus or minus the square root of 1. Well, 1 times 1 is 1, so it's 1, all over 10. So this is where I get my two answers. I have to do the plus minusing. So I have to do this whole thing where I add 1 and divide by 10. And I also have to do the other case where I subtract 1 and divide by 10. Negative 9 plus 1 is negative 8 over 10. I can't do that, so I'll simplify this to negative 4 over 5. Over here, negative 9 minus 1 is negative 10 over 10. And negative 10 can be simplified to just negative 1. These are my two answers, negative 4 over 5 and negative 1. So I'll write them here. X equals negative 4 over 5 or a negative 1. And that's how you use the quadratic formula to find the two answers to a quadratic equation.